Hey, how's it going? So I was actually just reading the book of Isaiah, and this book is amazingly complicated. It is so complicated, and the first thing that got me like hooked into it is when as Isaiah is just chilling, and then he meets God, and then so he goes to God's kingdom, and while he's there, he just sees God sitting on a throne with like angels around him. And then God is like, I don't know, like God is smoking something, and like the whole room is filled with smoke. It didn't say mist or a cloud. It says like smoke, and Isaiah knows what smoke is. Anyhow, and then he meets God, and then God is in this smoky place, right? And he's called the Most High. So he meets the Most High, and he is in this place where he sees the angels, and they tell him that he is going to go and send a message to the people. He is going to go and clean his dirty mouth so that he can speak to people in another way. So he eats like a piece of coal that burns his tongue, and then he goes on. And then God addresses him. And the message that he's actually supposed to speak is what is so trippy. And once you get the message that he's gonna say, like, you can't not read the book. That is just the thing about it. Because God tells him, go to these people and tell them that even though you will hear, you will not hear. Even though you will see, you will not see. Like, I thought that the message was gonna be something awesome, like, hey, I'm coming to rescue you, Jerusalem. Like, I'm coming for you right now. But it wasn't. It was even though they will hear, they will not hear. Even though they will see, they will not see. And in another part in this book, God is like, I have sent a deep delusion that people will believe a lie. And through this belief of a lie, they'll be in a deep sleep. So then I was like, wow, this is epic. This is epic. And once you look at it that way, that this is actually telling you what's happening. This is actually telling you how this is and how God is in control of everything. Everything is in like God's hands right now. Like everything is like on his whim. This is the definition of sovereignty, power, strength. Because once you look at the facts, you see like everything that's happening is crazy. So when you look at everything happening, you see like people are actually believing certain lies, and through these lies, they're actually seeing certain things that do not make sense to them in their heart, but because it is turned reality, because it is written down in a book, it has to be true. For example, people who are African think that they are inferior. We could say like, yeah, Obama was president and whatnot, but there's a deep sleep that happened because when people were colonized, they were colonized in the mind. That even though the prison doors were open, they couldn't walk out because this was a deep delusion that they actually believed that they are not people. They are not anything. They are just slaves. They're not even slaves. Like slaves is something. They're nothing. And people's children believed that. People's children were born into that. All because people wanted to get money out of a certain place. And see, the love of money is the root of all of these problems. So when you actually look at it that way, that people are actually in this delusional state, that people are believing that they don't have what it takes, they don't have the mind, they don't have the truth in them, they don't have the resources, they don't have what it takes, they're nothing. So people actually believe this, and this is the delusion, because that is the good news. You see, like he's telling them that even though you're seeing, you can't see. So when they finally see what they can't see, then they're now free to see the sight, that to say that like you're actually worth something when all along you believe that you were worth less because certain people put it in a certain way so that people wouldn't understand. So when someone has this desire for money, this is the root of diverse evils. And all of the evil in the world is being caused by this love of money, which causes greed, which causes adultery, lust, everything. Like, it's just a whole tangled web of things. So sometimes we hear but we don't hear, we see but we don't see, because this world is twisted that way. So actually, when you look at the original way that people were, in a place called the land of Punt, in a place where people lived in peace, in a place where people actually lived in harmony, in a place where people had a human nature that supported everything that they were doing. This was a place where people had a common bond and a common unity. And this is the first communities. These are the first communities. And when the Egyptians, who people regard as the greatest civilization ever, because even Moses, who wrote the Bible, even Moses, who wrote the Quran, even Moses, who wrote, like, Moses wrote every Bible in the world, because the 5 books of Moses are what make up Christianity. They are what make up Judaism. They are what make up Islam. The 5 books of Moses. And he was educated in this land of Egypt. And the people in this land of Egypt were like, nah, we don't know anything. You know who knows everything? Our fathers, who are gods on earth, know everything. Then they're like, what? Who are you guys talking about? Like, nah, our fathers in the land of Punt. Like, who? Our fathers in the land of Punt. They live with God. Huh. Then we're like, all right, cool. So then they went to the land of Punt. And they went to this place where it's actually a land of Put. This is a land where they actually saw their fathers, who they say that they are their teachers. And because every son learns from the father, right? So they went there and they actually went and embraced this understanding. So when they knew this, it's like they were understanding who they were. They were understanding what they were, because they went to the first society. They went to the first understanding, which created their own society and their understanding. So when they went to the land of Punt, they're revisiting their heart. They're revisiting who they are, their earth. And they're coming to who they are. And through this, when they're going to the land of Punt, what they're going to is actually the land of the Bant, the land of the Bantu. This is the land where they came to. This is the land where they came from. This is how you see the Queen of Put. Like she was a woman who is big, and what the books will tell you, what the delusion will tell you, what the deep lie will tell you, what puts you to the sleep is when the European writers who were Greek would say that she is not a black woman, but she is a woman who is white, obviously, because these Greeks are saying that they're their parents, right? So she's obviously white, and she's deformed. She's not a big woman. She has something called steatophagia. Just made up a word, right? Just like that. They just made it up, and then this is the deep delusion that people have never been able to figure out, that the land of Punt is in Africa. The land of Punt is the land of the Bantu. Simple as that. Simple as that. Because they went to this place where they got gold and ivory that you find in Africa. But it doesn't occur because the deep delusion is so deeply affecting us. We're like deeply in the sleep that we can't figure out that we were a good civilization. By no means am I saying that this was the only place where God was. No. God is everywhere. But the deep delusion will tell someone else that, nah, God never visited you because you're nothing. Like when you understand that Jesus isn't white, but every church has a white Jesus, right? That's just the basis of it. Like if you read the Bible, you see like Jesus is not white. Clearly. But someone would say that it doesn't matter. But if you were Chinese, it would matter, right? Like a Chinese Jesus, like it would matter. So it should matter that it doesn't matter. Aha. It shouldn't matter that it matters. It should matter that it doesn't matter. Because why shouldn't he look like the person he looks like? Even if he's not black. Like I don't even think he was black. I'm not saying he was black, but I think he looked like the people from the Middle East. Yeah, not say that he's black. He's not supposed to be black. No, he wasn't black. But then Moses was probably black, but not Jesus. So when you understand that it's just like a deep delusion. It's like putting us into a deep sleep. But the Most High knows all this. The Most High knows all this. So understanding that it's all about love. So when they were going to the land of Punt, we're going to the land of Punt, Punt. And they actually wrote books about the land of Punt. These Africans are writing these books. Not just Egyptians I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people in Ghana. These people were so smart, yo. But I didn't know about this. Like, Ghana people are... Like, I've always wondered, though. I've always wondered. Like, these guys are smart. But they were so smart, though. Like, yo. The people, like, in West Africa, Mali... Like the richest guy, Mansa Musa. We only know him because this world is so fixated with money. Like he's so rich, yay. But nah, it's beyond that. He was actually ruling the Ghana Empire. These guys were rich. The Ghana people were rich. Kingdom of Ghana. Sure. I think that's what got us colonized. Like, hey, now let's go to this place. They got so much money. People in Ghana used to shackle their prisoners in gold. Some people never felt gold in their wrists, but prisoners did in Ghana. Those people were loaded. Yeah. So it's just a very tricky world, So it's really topsy-turvy. But what you have to understand is that the Most High is in control all the time. And the land of Punt, like, it's in your heart, The land of milk and honey, it's actually in your heart. This is the land of milk and honey. It's what Moses saw. Like, he didn't even go there, but he was there. So, it's all about that. So, just show love, and just find the truth. And through this, just open your eyes. Don't be in the deep sleep because it's a crazy world. Evil times. But all of the evil is happening because of the love of money. So, once you know that, then you'd see that... when you follow the money, you find a whole paper trail of things. So it's all about the truth in God, all about the truth in nature, all about your Ubuntu. This is the land of Punt, this society that created everything. And when I'm saying this, it sounds crazy to somebody, but this Ubuntu nature created everything. Like it's so funny. Yeah, it's a very funny thing. It's a very deep delusion. So yeah, it's all love, yo. So I'll see you soon, and just stay woke, cause yeah, God did say like He's in charge of everything that's happening. So everything is according to mandate. Yeah, it's all love.